Hello and welcome to I Can See the Future. This is video number 3 of our Plant Guru kind of design exploration. And for this video, Teresa is going to talk about her process with design for both the logo and ideas around for the actual app icon, and also just illustration style and kind of what she's been working on and thinking. So we can start with talking about the logo.
Cool. Right. So now we're going to go and look through some of like the reiterations that I made for the logo. Here's a darker version. So I decided to do a hand-drawn textile just because I think it kind of goes with our aesthetic of being like very a friendly app. I think the one that I've landed on that I think I like the most, we can go through them all.
Yeah, just kind of cycling down. Cool. So which one was the one?
I think it's the 5th one down. So copy 7.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of like this darker version the most. I think that the colors really pop for me. And also I don't really see a lot of like super dark icons. And there's something about this like black background that makes it feel a little bit like kind of like peaceful and like quiet, because I don't know, it's like something about like the plants and like nighttime seem like kind of appealing. Mm-hmm. So one thing we were talking about with these logos is kind of the usage of them. And I have about like 7 or 8, I think, like usable versions. And so we were kind of talking about like what would the actual app look like within your phone? Would it be this one? Would it be the darker version? And just working out like, you know, how this would look. So this would maybe be an example of the darker version, and just showing you the outline of what the app shape would be like. So this is like you're flipping through your phone, and this is kind of what you would see.
That app icon.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the app icon essentially. So like on your like home screen of your phone. Yeah, I think that it's like the dark is really appealing to me too. I think especially in the context of like when you're sharing it in this way. It's a question about whether or not like, okay, is the whole app dark, or do we want just certain assets to have that dark background? Like, does the website for it, is the website kind of like lots of colors and also like with a white background and this logo, and then only in specific cases where it's like smaller? Because I can almost imagine like, okay, so if you're thinking about the full website and the background of like the full website, if it's all black, is that overwhelming? Does it then become like too dark and kind of like, doesn't get the same kind of feeling across? Or does it like, like, is there something to that kind of like seldomly using the black in specific moments? Because like in this case, like having some form of like the home like app icon have the black background does feel like appealing to me. Like it feels like it's like this like perfect little size, and then like opening that, does the app itself have a lot of like, is the whole app black? Like that's sort of a question. Like, is the whole website black? Like what are your feelings or thoughts around that?
I don't know. I think having an app where everything is black, the background, everything is black, I don't know. Right? Because it's a plant. You want it to feel like, I don't know, like easy on the eyes, right? Like easy to use. And I think with a dark background, that I don't know if that would work, but it's like having a dark app icon and having a white actual app background. Can those two things exist together? Can those two things feel cohesive?
Right. I think the answer is yes, if it's like the darkness is included in some element of it. So maybe it's like in the design, like there are parts that have black background, or like elements that are black as well, so that it feels like it works together. Like the colors are carried over, but it's a mainly white app. The other fun thing we could think about is like, what about playing with time? So like the icon is always black, but when it is between certain hours, the app itself has light background, and then at night it goes to a black background. So
That's actually really cute.
yeah, like we could play with like the idea of, because it's so crucial to your plants, the idea of sun. Like when it's bright, it's white and it's daytime and your eyes are, whatever. And then when it gets to be nighttime, it switches to like a black background.
I think that's a really cute idea.
Yeah, and I think even with a white background during the day, like as long as these colors are included, like the black text, the black lines, the buttons can, the button color we can pick from something that makes the most sense, like whatever that main color of this color scheme is.
Yeah.
But actually, I really think it's pretty. It's not the most obvious, which is nice. It's like taking the idea that we talked about, like that illustration style, and kind of moving it from being like, the most obvious would be like greens and purple and like white background for everything. And it's kind of like taking it to that next level.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate that. I think that is like, that's fun. So I think we should like head towards this direction for like app icon when you're designing that like main marketing page, like maybe thinking about, is it white? Maybe the top is black. Like the first part of it has like a black background, or maybe the header, like whatever that, where the logo is, like this could have just like the black background. And maybe we can kind of play with that and see like, how do we feel about those colors on the black background, right?
Yeah. I still really like that.
Yeah, me too. So there's something like with the whole design, it doesn't have to be everything is all black. Yeah. It could be like selectively used or like included during certain times. We could do the same thing with the marketing website where we had it like during the day it's light and during the night it like transitions to like dark.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And or like we could even kind of play with like the sun positioning. We could go really crazy and play with like the position of the sun, like influencing the shadows or something. Like at certain times of day, like the illustrations inside the website, not on the app, because I think we might go crazy if there's too much detail on like your app, but maybe the website has like transitions throughout the day of like the illustrations change based on the time. And it's like the sun coming in, like changes I don't know. We could really make something really fun.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, it could be really simple too, but like really, like everything is so simple about it, but then you have those like illustrations that change based on time.
Yeah, I think that little bit kind of elevates it.
Yeah, it does. Like in a way that I feel is like a non-cheesy way of like animating your site almost, because sometimes it's like overkill, or like if there's a lot of parallax or like a ton of different like movement, it's like too much. But like subtle things that like you may not notice up front, or like are just like kind of little cute, added things like that's what really gets me. That's what makes me think of like someone that really like thought through their product. So yeah, I think that could be fun to kind of design it that way, thinking about it. Cool. And so you also were working on, did you have anything else you want to talk about with the logos first?
No, I think I really just wanted to show like where we're at with the logos and like kind of go through the thinking behind it and why we choose, what we choose. Right. So I also did an illustration.
Cool, yeah.
Actually
open that.
Would be so it's not I think it's not a Photoshop file.
It's just a graphic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me not save this. And I have it here, so I'm going to open it. And we will shift around our windows again. So this one would be the main, and let's just do this real quick and pop you back up to the top. There we go.
So this illustration, I think we were saying it would be kind of like the image that would pop up, like, I guess like before sign in?
Yeah, like when you're loading the app, it'd be that initial.
Yeah. So I wanted it to have like the same style as the logo. So I wanted it to be like very hand-drawn, and friendly looking. I found this artist, her name is Esther Chen. Some of you guys might know her. And she just really has like a really great illustrative style where it's like cartoony, but it's at the right kind of like level where it's still it's somewhat realistic, like with the shadow play that she has in here, I think is really nice.
Yeah.
So I wanted to still show, this is my first pass at just kind of getting something down, and trying to see like what could look good when you first open this app. I think that this still has a ways to go. I'm probably going to do a couple more passes at this of just kind of getting the style to where I want it to be a little bit more similar to how Esther Chen has it, with just kind of like, there's no line work happening in hers, which I think is really nice.
Yeah, it's just based on these colors. There's like this sort of paint kind of like it's not oil paint feel. I don't know what it is exactly.
Texture to it.
It does, yeah, like has a texture. And then I think it is really just like the shadow, the simple idea of like adding in the shadows.
Yeah.
And that's where you're almost getting like the outline, like you're getting like a defined shape based on like that shadow only.
The shadow.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is cool. Like it's heading in that right direction. I love the perspective and like what you've included in here, and like the layout of this is really beautiful. And this is the kind of thing that I think like this will then translate as well to like elements inside of the website, or like, you know, how this sort of illustrative style like translates across like that marketing page for the site. So yeah, I think that's like a really great direction. I love her work, and I think this is like really beautiful. And then it's like finding like your own kind of version of it, but like using this as that inspiration, because it really does kind of like, it's like really close to hitting like what we were kind of thinking or going for this.
Yeah, the feel of this app.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it is like cartoony, but like adult cartoony.
Yeah.
It's like just enough. It feels nice. It feels good. I think, I think it's a really solid kind of concept to play off of. And then, maybe it's like, I just keep working on this illustration specifically with the idea of this one being used for the app for that loading screen.
Yeah.
And then all of this would then also translate to like, you could pull plants from that illustration to use within the website.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Yeah. So I think sort of what our goal is for the next video, for next Tuesday, is we're going to design out the main screens for the actual apps, for the actual user's experience for the app. So having, just that side of things, we won't be kind of finishing up like the actual Plant Gurus interface. But you'll be able to see like how the app would function at that kind of main level, and then also a marketing page that will kind of drive users, anyone we drive to it, to hopefully sign up for a mailing list for the app.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are with the goal for the final presentation for this. And, ultimately, if we get enough people signing up on that marketing page, then we would just say, cool, let's like keep building this out. And my goal for next week too is I'm going to be working with React Native, and I kind of want to start kind of playing with this and building those, the actual, the user's side like app, and and then if we get enough energy towards it, like, let's make it.
Yeah.
Could be fun. So yeah, I think that is it, unless, do you have anything else you want to kind of add to this?
No, I'm excited to see, where we go with this for next week.
Yeah, it's definitely like the feel is there. And so now I think it's a matter of just like, it's going to be really fun to like work on that marketing page, and then the screens that we're going to show, like, and kind of integrating that into the marketing page too. I'm excited. It's going to be cool. Plant Guru. All right. So I guess we will see you guys next week on Tuesday.
Yep. See ya.
Got to stop this. Let's see.
Hello,
and